Rashad wants to know, which Pixar film do you think we might get first, The Incredibles 2 or Toy Story 4?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to guess Toy Story 4. As much as they deny it, whatever, I think that world they create is just too rich. They know there's more story potential there that they can do. I don't buy the argument of, but Toy Story 3 ended it so perfectly. So what? If there's still more stories to tell more stories. I would want Expendables. I would want Incredibles 2 first. Let's make that clear. I want Incredibles 2 now. But which one is we more likely to see first? I don't know that we're going to see either of them. But I think there's a better chance of us seeing Toy Story 4 before we see Incredibles 2.
I'm going to go with Incredibles 2. I think the demand is too high. I think with the whole Disney buying Marvel thing with the superheroes, that I think eventually we're going to see Incredibles 2.
I sure hope so, man. Okay, what's next?
Jack Skywalker, hey Miss Gatekeeper, what does the crew think about Franklin Richards appearing in Days of Future Past? Possible way to bring X-Men with Fantastic Four?
Well, if you're talking about Franklin Richards, the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm, he can't. He belongs to Fox. Anything directly connected in that way to Fantastic Four, which Franklin Richards would be, he's connected to Fox. So no, you're not going to see him in any Avengers thing. See any other way?
Avengers? Did you say Avengers?
No, X-Men or Fantastic Four.
Oh, X-Men. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
Not
yeah, it's
listening.
possible. It's possible, but remember, right now they're starting over with the Fantastic Four babies. So
yes.
I don't know how long it's going to be until we see the offspring of Reed Richards and Sue Storm, unless they do like a time travel sort of thing, which they have done in the comics in the past. So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I think they'd rather put in maybe one of those Fantastic Four. And plus, Days of Future Past has already been shot, and Fantastic Four hasn't even started
Maybe he meant
production.
like Apocalypse or so further down the line, yeah.
Maybe.
All right, what's next?
Tyler Hudson wants to know, do you guys think we'll get a Twister sequel that Bill Paxton has been hinting at, or maybe a re-release?
No, I could see a reboot for Twister. I can't see a sequel at this point. I don't see what the upside of doing a sequel would be. Not enough. I mean, the first one was a successful film, but it's not like people were crying out for a sequel to it, and it's been a long time. I think it would make better business sense. I mean, what would make the better movie, a sequel or a reboot? Probably a sequel. But what makes better business sense right now? Probably a reboot if you're going to do anything, or just make another movie about tornadoes. They're making 50 movies about earthquakes and 50 movies about, a second ice age hitting. So I doubt a sequel would happen. What do you think?
I don't think we'll see a sequel or a reboot. I think those type of disaster movies have that trend has passed. I mean, we'll still have
The Rock has San Andreas coming.
We'll have those rare ones, but not like, I think like at the end of the 90s, it was just like all like the perfect storm, the twister, the earthquake,
volcano,
meteor coming down to hit the earth. Like it was all disaster movies.
Day before yesterday or whatever it's called, day after tomorrow.
Yeah, we're kind of more in the superhero comic book and science fiction trend right now. So I don't see it happening.
All right.
Kyle Wallace wants to know, if Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is a commercial success, do you think there's a chance we could see a Biker Mice from Mars or Thundercats film?
Well, we've talked about the other one, no. Thundercats, they have no idea what to do with the Thundercats. They've tried, cartoon versions where they're actually on Earth, teenagers in high school. They've tried redoing a proper Thundercats animated, which actually wasn't all that bad. The Thundercats was in the works for a while and then got shelved. I believe it was Warner Brothers has the rights to them. I could be wrong. It might have been Sony, but I don't know why they can't do a Thundercats movie. I mean, I think it has enough brand recognition. I think it has a nostalgia factor. I think it's got good narrative, an interesting mythology. You could do it, but I just don't see any movement on it. Dennis?
I don't see it. If you can't get a He-Man movie off the ground, which is much more recognizable, Thundercats, yeah, I think it was pretty well known, but it wasn't on that same level as like a G.I. Joe, Transformers, or He-Man. So it's kind of a one step below, and if they can't get He-Man, I just don't see it.
All right, what's next?
J.B. Cassison writes, with the success of the Transformers movies and Pacific Rim, do you think we will ever see a Voltron movie?
Oh, they've been trying to get Voltron going for a long time. First of all, there was a big legal battle going on for years and years and years about who exactly has the rights to do a Voltron movie. I believe that issue has now been settled in the last couple of years. And then that company has started looking for partners to start developing and writing scripts to get a Voltron feature film in the works. I don't think it's made a lot of progress, but I personally have no doubt within 5 years we will hear about a Voltron movie getting greenlit and actually going into production. Because once again, it's just, there's too much upside there from a business point of view. That movie will make money if you can make it with a reasonable budget. So I think it'll come, but right now it's kind of stuck in the mud.
I loved Voltron when I was a kid, and I would love to see a Voltron movie as long as they do it right.
And I prefer the Lion version.
Yes, the vehicle one sucked. I hated the one. It had like 32 parts. It's like the Lion with the 5 pieces was just fine. They have to do that one. But I would totally see it. I'd rather see that than a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, let's take a couple more.
Chris Mo Richman 300.
Whoa.
Do you think Disney will ever release the original unaltered versions of Star Wars back into the theaters?
Yes.
Ooh.
I think not wide release, but I think there is a event factor there. I think there is Disney. I mean, they did it with Wizard of Oz recently, right? Remember, for like the whatever anniversary, they put it back in theater for like a week, for like on IMAX screens for like 1 week. I think there is an event factor there for the original Star Wars trilogy, for Disney to say for 1 week, we are re-releasing it into theaters, blah, 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 because how much money is it going to cost them to do it? Nothing. It's going to cost them nothing. They'll have to put some money into a marketing campaign, whatever. It's just printing free money for them at this point. I got to believe it'll happen at some point. I'm not saying I have any inside knowledge that they're going to do it, not at all. But if you're asking me if I think they would, yeah, I think they will.
I'm praying that they will. And besides opening in the theater, they would do like some Blu-ray release or whatever. But I think the issue is, was George Lucas lying about the prints, though? Because he had said, oh, we can't re-release these old ones because somehow the old prints got lost or damaged or something. We only have these new ones.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
I don't believe it either. I think that was just a lie he told to sell these new versions. So I'm praying that they do.
All right, 2 more.
William Parcell says, do you think Kingdom Come would be a good way to end the DC film universe if they never reboot?
No. I don't think you'll ever see a Kingdom Come live-action film. It's a brilliant. If you haven't read the graphic novel, actually, I have it sitting. It's sitting on my recliner right now as we speak. If you've never read Kingdom Come, it's brilliant. You should read it. It's really great. But it's such a far out there Elseworlds kind of concept. You'll never see a live-action version of it.
I don't think we'll see a live-action version. I would love to see one. I loved it as well. It's kind of the same reason why we probably will never see a Old Man Logan.
Oh yeah,
one. I would love to see that. I love that comic book, but oh, man, I really wish there was a way to do these alternate universe type stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, 1 more.
Peter Nystrom wants to know if you guys are looking forward to Mad Max Fury Road.
I want to, but there've been a lot of stories going around, and who knows what can be believed, but a lot of stories going around about production problems. They had to go back and, like, they tore up 1/3 of the film and went back and completely redid it, which can be a good thing. I'm not exactly sure the name of the director who directed the original Mad Max. I'm going to look it up right here.
But he's redirecting the reboot, right?
Oh yeah, he's also directing the reboot, and I am not so sure. Was it George Miller? Yeah, I'm not so sure how much I trust George Miller right now. George Miller was also the guy behind that Justice League movie they were going to do about 5 or 6 years ago with, like, it was going to be the Justice League babies, basically, where they had cast Armie Hammer as Batman, and they had I mean, it looked like a mess. I didn't like the direction it was going. We'll see. It's hard for me to say right now. I'm kind of just waiting till I see some actual footage and see a trailer and get a sense of what the tone and the temperature of the film is going to be, because right now I just have no idea what to think.
I'm still looking forward to it. Tom Hardy's in it, and I'm a sucker for post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah,
not all of them are good, but I'm still a sucker for them, so I'm still looking forward to it.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.